Hey everybody, I'm Ryan from Fit for a King, and you're watching Loudwire. So I would say the band that introduced me to heavy vocals was Avenged Sevenfold with their album Waking the Fallen. And I actually heard Chapter 4 for the first time off of, I believe it was Madden 2003. But that, I mean, throughout the years, I think 02 through like 06, Madden had like Under Oath, Thrice, Brand New, Avenged Sevenfold, Atreyu. Like, that's what got me into metalcore and got me into screaming. Now, what got me into wanting to be a vocalist, so those are two separate things. That kind of got me into screaming music, but what got me into screaming was my friend's brother. So when I was a freshman, my friend had a brother who was a senior, and he was in a local band called Broadway, and I saw they were playing a show like 5 minutes down the road at a church, and I was like, you know what? I'll go. I like heavy music. I've never been to a show. So I went to the show, and they were headlining. There's like 80 people there. But, man, whenever he hit the stage and I watched him do vocals, I was in awe during the whole set. And I was like, I want to do that so badly. And from that night on, I knew I want to be in a band. So, which leads to the next thing. The first band I screamed in was a local band called Escort, which I'd be shocked if anyone on earth even knows that exists outside of, like, my brother. And yeah, it was a bad band name. I didn't really know what an escort was at the time. But yeah, so now I know why my parents thought the name was weird. I would practice my vocals in the closet of my room. So my room was like on the opposite side of the house of my parents' room. So when I thought they were asleep every night, I would go to the closet, shove a blanket at the bottom to soundproof it, and then scream. But looking back, they have confirmed with me they did hear me doing vocals. And I thank them for not making me feel weird about it. Now, where our bands would practice, my parents were actually really cool. They let us practice in my bedroom. I would scream into an Ampeg 115 amp that our bass player had. And, you know, I only did highs back then, so it sounded pretty cool, actually. It was like screams into a metal zone or something like that. Now, for me, the hardest type of vocals, especially starting off, were low screams. Now that's become my main vocal, but it was definitely something I had a lot of trouble with. Actually, I don't know if this is why I can do lows, but I noticed we had a house show and I was like 17 and I had strep throat and I didn't want to cancel the show. So I went and played with strep throat. And after the show, I was spitting up blood and couldn't scream for the next 6 months. I thought I had just straight up lost the ability to scream. And then 6 months later, I could do lows. So I don't want to say that's the key because I'm not going to condone getting strep and then screaming with it, but I feel like that had something to do with it. Enunciation is everything with my style. Like, I used to think power just came from how loud you were screaming or what your technique was, but I've learned a lot of power just comes from how you enunciate. Enunciation can make things sound so punchy and crisp. So I always tell aspiring vocalists, please put a lot of focus on your enunciation. It's huge. For pre-show must, I would say, you know, you just got to drink a lot of water. I've never been big on like tea and stuff. You got to warm up, obviously. I have a warm-up routine I got from a vocal lesson with Mama Jan. You can look her up on Google. You'll find her. She's helped a lot of people way more famous than me. But yeah, warm up and water. Those are my big two. And lastly, cupping the mic. I'm not going to say I don't cup the mic. I definitely do like a one hand type of thing, but I never double cup with like, you know, the vocalist that'll do that with the mic. I just feel like it makes it super muddy sounding. You lose a lot of character and nobody's going to understand what you're saying. But maybe you'll sound really cool. And if that's what you're going for, then maybe cupping the mic is for you, but it's not for me.